In this video, we are going to create a Web3 online MetaMask wallet very simply and easily. Let's get into it. Okay, so open up the browser that you would like to use. I prefer to use Brave because it is more privacy focused, but you want to go to metamask.io/download. And these are the browsers that the MetaMask wallet extension works on. So your MetaMask wallet is actually an extension on your browser. So it works with Chrome, Firefox, Brave, Opera, and Edge. It has already recognized that I'm on the Brave browser. So all we have to do is click Get MetaMask. And we might have to do this. And we are going to add to Brave. Add extension. And it has been added. So this window will automatically open up, and it's going to start walking us through the setup process of the MetaMask wallet. So we're going to agree to the terms of use, and we are always going to create a new wallet. Always. You will never import an existing wallet. I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you have a hardware wallet. You never want to import that wallet. You want to keep those private keys offline. So you create a new wallet, and then we will connect the hardware wallet on the back end. So create a new wallet, and it's got our guidelines here. We have to tick here and hit I agree. And now it's going to ask us to create a password. So this password is for every time that you open up your wallet. So if anybody ever was using your computer, they would need this password in order to access your MetaMask wallet. So that's a security measure. So create a password and enter it twice. And we click here that we understand that MetaMask cannot recover this password. So write it down on a piece of paper. If you don't think that you're going to remember it, I would get a traditional piece of paper and a pen and write it down. Don't copy it online. Don't email it to yourself. Don't put it anywhere online, because if you have malware on your computer or your phone, it can be compromised. All right, so create a new wallet. This talks about a recovery phrase, and there are multiple words for a recovery phrase. Sometimes they're called a seed phrase. Sometimes scammers will call them your 12 words, and they make it seem as trivial as possible so that you're more comfortable with providing those 12 words to them. It could be called your seed phrase. There's multiple words that it could be called. Now, if you're using a hardware wallet, it's really not all that important to write down these words and copy them, because your private keys are essentially on your hardware wallet, and you're connecting those private keys to your MetaMask wallet. But if you're not using a hardware wallet, what I suggest is you get out a handy piece of paper and a pen, and you write these words down the traditional way. Now, I've even got some sentences that are written at the top of this sheet, because that is one thing that nobody really ever talks about when they're setting up a hardware wallet or a MetaMask online wallet, is how important it is to keep these words private and safe. And you'll probably write them down, and I'm going to recommend you put them in a safe in your home. It could be a bank vault, anything that is safe from, I don't know, it could be safe from fire, water damage, all of that. It might not even be a bad idea to laminate this once it's done, if you can do it in a safe and private manner, right? But these sentences are very important, and why I'm recommending that you write these down at the top of the sheet of your paper is because you might be in touch with a scammer, let's say 2 years down the road, or 5 or 10 years down the road, and you've completely forgotten that you must never share these words with anyone that you do not trust. And these sentences will remind you of that, because sometimes you might forget. Or let's say God forbid you pass away and your spouse or your children find this and they don't know anything about crypto, it's also good information for them to have. So I'm going to show these sentences to you, and you can pause this video and write them down on the piece of paper before you go ahead and write your recovery phrase down. So these words represent the same security as your PIN number on your bank debit card. You would never give out your PIN number to anybody that you didn't know, a neighbor, maybe a family member that you trust, but you really have to think twice about who you're going to share these words with. Because as soon as you do share these words with anyone, it is the same thing as you giving them your bank debit card and telling them your PIN number, and now they have access to your funds and can go into the bank next day and withdraw all the funds you have in the bank. So never share these words with anyone. I don't want to have access to my crypto. Never take a picture of these words on my phone or anywhere else. If you take a picture of these words on your phone or a camera, well, your phone is already online. So if you have malware on your phone, or if you get malware on your phone in the future, these words are now compromised. Never email these words to myself as a copy. Again, if your email ever gets hacked, that's a problem. These words are never to touch the internet. Don't type them on my computer or phone or any website. So don't have a notepad on your computer. It could be Notepad, it could be TextEdit if you have a Mac. You never want to write them down on your computer. Again, it's the same thing. You've got to be careful with technology. Technology can be compromised, it can be hacked. So, or you can click on a phishing link, and before you know it, your words have been compromised. Now, if you are using a hardware wallet, I will have a separate video on how to connect a Trezor or a Ledger, whichever hardware wallet you have, and I would pause this video right now and just go watch that one. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and secure my wallet. So it says write down your secret recovery phrase. Now with MetaMask, you get 12-word secret recovery phrase. As you can see, these words are being generated online, which is kind of a safety hazard in and of itself, which is why I completely preach hardware wallets all the time, like Trezor or Ledger. So if you have, by any means, you can afford one of those, less than $100 you can get one for. I highly recommend it because those private keys are generated offline and they never touch the online world. So you do want to make sure that you are in a safe place in your home, that you're not surrounded by a lot of people. When you reveal these words, you want to be in a quiet room and write these down. So you're going to click on Reveal Secret Recovery Phrase, and I am going to black this out for privacy reasons, but I'm going to write these words down now, and you should write yours down at the same time, and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, once that is done, you can click on Next, and it's going to ask us to confirm that we've written down our words properly and in the correct order. So you're going to fill in the blanks essentially. And then click Confirm. Congratulations, your wallet is protected and ready to use. So we'll click Done. And then we'll click on Next. And Done. So with account 1, this is a MetaMask wallet address. So if you do not have a hardware wallet, this would be your wallet address right here. So now your MetaMask wallet has been created, and the next step is to set up your MetaMask wallet properly and with some privacy and safety and security measures in mind. So I will see you on the next video.